Hello, Jamieson-Folland here with this week's theme, which is one of my favourites, conscious living. And one of my passions, as many of you would know, is that I'm passionate about being a lifelong learner. And I really believe that this interesting time that we've been having around the pandemic with COVID-19 is actually a window, a golden opportunity window for learning and to kind of tie in with that passion of mine for lifelong learning. And you know, say, okay, so learning what? Well, I see this on multiple levels, and I'm experiencing this not only for myself, but for many of my family who I get to call, or my friends who I get to choose as my family, and many clients, is this sense of more space to be able to get clear about so many things that are often there's too much noise and busyness that means that we don't actually experience the reality that we are living at a particular at a level that's possible. So what do I mean by that? Well, it might be relationships that we're having with people with whom we are sharing our bubble. So at the time of this video, we're actually at the here in New Zealand, we are in our lockdown period, and we've been told that's for a month, but who knows, it looks like that's going to be longer. And so it's a golden opportunity, this window, to be seeing the world in a way that allows us to focus on what's right here, right now, as opposed to oftentimes we're thinking about, I don't know about you, I've certainly found myself thinking about what I'm going to be doing later that week. I need to go out to not just the shops, there'll be other errands that are non-essential. So at the moment, being limited to, I know that for some, like in the UK, during the lockdown period, it's basically been a case of being allowed to go to the shops once. So it's out of the house once. And I think I was touching base with a friend in South Africa who was explaining that you're actually not allowed to go out of the house. So that would make life very, very interesting. So it's an opportunity to focus on now, the nowness, which for many of us, and like for me, that has been a learning curve in itself, to refocus on now and realize that now is all we have. The other thing too is I know many of us have been diving into learning new skills or brushing up, like my sister brushing up on French. I think that's, I was thinking of the app, that awesome wee app, which will come to me, which we can be using to help us, Duolingo, I think, help us remember languages or learn languages. And I have a friend, Tony, who's been doing that heaps in the States. So not only literally learning life skills at home, or getting to know family members on a new level that maybe with one schedule or another we don't always prioritize necessarily. And also learning to get clearer about the way that we tick personally. You know, I've got back into my groove with regular naps, and this is such a powerful way for me to let go and start afresh each day. And it's like turning a new page. So I'm curious to hear if there were an area that you have been noticing has been you've been learning over any time, but particularly if you're affected like we have been to the extent of lockdown over COVID. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And I'll be seeing you on this week's Alive with Fee. Ciao for now.